G'day, my name's Chef Ellul. I've been told that I should talk a little bit about where I come from, my family history. Born in Melbourne, my father's Maltese, my mum's Australian. I got involved with the building unions in mid-70s and been a union member ever since. Got involved early with the BLF. Come over to West Australia in about 1985 and got involved with the BLF and Plasterers Union over here. I enjoy being involved with a union that helps look after people, and at the moment now I've stepped aside from the union movement to be able to fight a campaign that involves the state, local and federal government. What I'm pushing for, and what I hope to be pushing for, is a revamp of our political system, a revamp of our legal system, a revamp of our taxation system, and one of the main objectives of my campaign is to bring the Poisons Act up to speed, which is very, very important, a very important issue that all Australians need to take heed and listen to, because it's an issue which affects them and their lives, affects their children's lives, as to why we have so many children in hospital diagnosed with terminal illnesses. Now, to me, that's a crime. We should never have to listen to our children's heartbeats stop beating. My main objective is to awaken the Australian people as to we don't have to stand for what it is that the government say that we have to do, and that is because they're in breach of contract. If I make an agreement with you that I will do something for you providing you do something for me, then if I breach that agreement, then I've breached of contract. There has been no Prime Minister in this country or nation that has not been in breach of contract. Now, the breach of contract means that they've made promises and commitments to the Australian public before the Australian public. They've also made contracts and commitments in front of federal prosecutors, state prosecutors and outside observers. Now, once they get in power, they say, oh, we can't live up to our promises and our commitments and our contract because the previous government left it in such a mess. Well, that's no excuse. So they're all in breach of contract. What we need in our system, what we need in our political system, is to be round tables set up everywhere, and we need to be able to work together, not sitting opposite each other and fighting and arguing. We all should be working together for the same reason, and that's for the benefit of this country and this nation. And the only way we can do that is by pulling together as a country and as a nation and as a people. And we need to push religion aside and be Aussies, be who we are, and bring back basic law and common sense. Now, when I say revamp our political system, I mean exactly that. We should be able to have a police force that is one police force with no secrets. And that police force means a united police force with one law, and that law is common law. What is common to me, common to you, common to everybody else. And we use and implement a bit of common sense, which doesn't apply in any form of our legal system or our political system. So I put it to you as Australians, we don't need to take or stand for a blackmailing government that blackmails you into paying your fines by saying that if you don't pay your fines, we will take your licence off you. If you don't pay your fines, we will not allow you to pay your registration on your vehicle, in turn putting a bigger hole in your pocket. In turn, if you can't afford to pay your fines, because there's so many of revenue raising crap that they've put out there, and they make it so hard, this government, for us as Australians to live and to survive, and it's not on. It needs to change. We didn't vote them in to make it hard for us. We voted them in because they made promises to us that they haven't fulfilled, so therefore they're in breach of contract. If someone breaches their contract, well, they should be ousted. We should have a policing agency to be able to charge a politician with a crime. If I went out and murdered someone, I'd be charged. If a politician allows a a piece of legislation to allow hundreds of thousands of Australians to be exposed to something that will eventually kill them. They just get paid a lot of money and basically get shunted aside if the heat gets too hot, and then they relinquish their responsibilities in relation to their portfolio, and they can't be charged under the parliamentary privileges. Well, it's a parliamentary privilege to be able to break the law and allow people to die. I think that's the way they've set it up. So it needs to change. We need federal prosecutors, we need constitutional lawyers, we need criminal lawyers, and we need civil lawyers to join this campaign and be able to overthrow this government that is allowing our children to be exposed to what we're being exposed to, allowing Australians to suffer, and it needs to change. We need to have Australian farmers fully supported, Australian food for Australian people at almost nil cost. We need to be able to bring our cost of living down so we wouldn't have to have high wages, so we can be very competitive in the market of manufacturing and be competitive with the quality that we should have. We have buildings in Western Australia that I watch go up. God help us if there's a tremor. God help the people living in those high-rise buildings if there's a tremor. There's no law to make sure that the buildings are built up to the standards, because it's all been taken away by the governments. That's inspectors, that's the quality control. Builders these days employ their own engineers to sign off. That's a major conflict of interest. I've seen buildings go up in Perth City. There's no curing time on these slabs. These people pay high prices to live in a top-story apartment. Well, God help them if they really know when there's a tremor coming, because I can tell you it's going to be like the House of Cards. It's going to be such a mess. Now, again, I talk about control and policing. I talk to you, the Australian public, about my concerns about some of the issues that I'm raising. So support me in this campaign. This campaign's for us as Australians. Australia first, you first, our children first. Look after each other. You've done it before and you can do it again. God bless you all. God be with you. No matter who your God is or what you believe in, believe in each other as people. You've done it before. I've seen you do it. I've seen you pull together when you've needed to be able to help countries all over the world. We need to pull together first as Australians. We need to pull together first as a nation, and we need to pull our police force together, our generals together of each of the armed forces, to overthrow this government that's allowed us and then allowing us to be walked on and trampled on. So again, God be with you all. My name is Ellul. See you on the next video.